Blessings, everyone. Welcome to Healing with Ashley. And today I want to answer my most requested question, my most requested video, which is how to break down the poses or the beginner poses, right? So there are a lot of beginners that follow me on Instagram at Healing with Ashley, as well as on the YouTube page. And you know what? I made a mistake in labeling the first video I posted for complete beginners, and not realizing that complete beginners would really mean persons who have never persons who may have never been to a beginner's class or even any type of yoga session. So I'm going to relabel that for beginners, which would mean that you're not a complete beginner and you're looking for a basic flow, right? Or a beginner's flow. So today I'm going to break down some of the most common poses and do a little variation on what we call sun salutation, a sun salutation sequence, which is usually from child's pose, from standing pose to forward fold, and then into plank, and then chaturanga dandasana, coming up into cobra and upward facing dog, and then back into lifting up into downward facing dog, and you repeat that cycle. I think I'm going to add into it a crescent lunge and a warrior 2 because and I'm going to label the Sanskrit for each of these. So we're going to start in child's pose. So you can meet me at the back of your mat, and you can get a bottle of water so you can have it in between poses. So to come into child's pose, you're going to meet me at the back of your mat, and you're kneeling like this, and you're bringing your ankles together and making the tops of your feet flat. Now I know for some persons they may not have the flexion to make the tops of the feet flat like this, but flex your feet. Like yoga doesn't have to be perfect. Come as you are. So we're sitting on the backs of our ankles, and we're going to walk our hands forward onto the mat. And just take your time. Bring the knees together and bring the chest down over the tops of the knees, and bring your forehead onto the mat. And you're making your palms flat on the mat and pressing into the earth. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to come up into tabletop position. So you're shifting your weight forward onto your hands and bringing your hands back towards you, coming onto the knees, and we're going to make it so that our elbows are right below our shoulders and our knees are right below our hips. Again, it does not have to be exactly perfect. You want to give yourself 30 seconds or to a minute to come into the posture. After that, please stop fixing it. Just relax into the posture and allow yourself to breathe and release tension. The body knows how to move energy. We don't have to think so much about it. And there's a balance of effort and ease, as one of my yoga teachers would say. Okay, so making the tops of the feet flat, and you're pressing the palms into the earth. So you're kind of pressing yourself away from the earth. and keeping your gaze down towards the mat so that the neck is straight, the spine is straight. And we're going to inhale, taking a cat cow. So we're looking up, we're arching the back, we're bringing the tailbone up towards the sky, and you inhale, bring the shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, tuck the tailbone, make the back concave, look down, or you look back towards your toes, and that's on your exhale. So we can try it again. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Okay, come back to center. And when I say come back to center, I mean come back to your alignment or your center alignment. So now we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to lift up into downward dog. Bringing the hips up to the sky, and you're pressing your palms into the mat, and if you can, I want you to rotate your elbows out towards the front. So my elbows are like this, and these are not rotated. And then if I turn them out like that, do you see that? Then it is rotated. And we're going to look down, towards your heels, towards the back of your mat. And we're pressing the chest towards the back of the mat or towards the tops of the thighs. Now for many, you may need to bend your knees and bend as generously as you need to in order to relax the lower back. You don't want to strain your lower back trying to have a perfect downward dog, because it will hurt you. So bend the knees. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And on your next exhale, we're going to step that right foot in between the hands. And if you feel like you need to help yourself by pulling that foot forward, please feel free to do that. So we're going to take our high lunge, and you're on the ball of your back foot, and you make that front foot flat, and we're positioning the front ankle directly under the front knee. So I want you to find your balance, right? So for some persons that might mean having a more narrow stance. And what I mean by narrow is, you see the center line that's going to my mat? That means that both feet are along that center line. They're closer to that center line. If you have a wider stance, you have more of a chance of balancing, which is the feet are more towards the edges of the mat. So So you have to feel that out for yourself. And when you find that position, you're going to inhale, squeeze the thighs for support, and bring your hands above the head. And your palms are facing each other. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And on your next exhale, we're going to make that back foot flat. Do you see that action I did a while ago? I turned my foot towards the left side of my mat, and I came onto the bottom of my foot. And we're keeping the front foot bent, checking that it's the knees directly over the ankle. And you would bring your hands down with your chest facing towards the left side of your mat. So I'm facing the cave over there. And your hands are shoulder height. And you're going to take a few inhales. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to bring that back hand down towards the mat, back towards the mat. So, and we're going to turn on back to the ball of our back foot and bring that right hand onto the mat, and we're going to step back this right foot into our plank. And we're going to take our CHATURANGA DANDASANA. Now, for intermediate or advanced student, you would bring your chest right down to the mat, tucking those elbows and shifting those toes forward and coming into upward dog. Right? For a beginner, I would rather you start by bringing your knees down to the mat, like so, and then bringing your chest down to the mat, and lifting up. So you can bring, at this point, you're shifting everything forward into your COBRA and making the tops of the feet flat. And you're taking an inhale and exhale, tuck those back feet, and we're going to use your hand to support you as you come back, as you lift yourself off the mat, lift your chest off the mat, and bring your hips up to the sky, back into your downward dog. Now we're going to walk our feet towards the top of the mat. And I walk them one after the other because I find you get a nice calf stretch. Bring them right beside each other, and we're going to roll up into TADASANA, standing pose. And standing pose seems very simple, right? However, in standing pose, many things are taking place, as in all poses. So you want your feet parallel, toes facing forward, and bring your feet closer together than far apart. They don't have to be like exactly like that, but closer together. Or let's just say hip width apart. And we're tucking that tailbone. So you're not standing like this, but like this. Not with the bottom cocked, but tucked. Get a nice straight line. And we're rolling the shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale and exhale, roll them back. And you're facing your palms forward, looking forward. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. We're going to bring both hands out towards the sky and up, palms facing each other. Inhale and exhale. Bring your palms together and bring your palms down towards your heart. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Release the hands. Once more. Inhale, arms out towards the sides and up towards the sky. And we're going to face the palms towards the front of the mat and fold forward. Utkanasana, Utkanasana. And what I like to do is caress the legs, bringing the hands onto the thighs. Making your back flat. Inhale, looking down towards the mat, tucking those elbows. Exhale and fall towards the mat, allowing everything to just hang. Now, bending the knees. In forward fold, I'd rather you not bend the knees, but stay where you can. So you can press the hands onto the thighs or onto the shins. Why? Because by bending the knees, you're using a specific set of muscles and not working the other set. So it's better to keep the knees straight and allow for that lower back stretch to take place where you can. So as we release onto the mat, you're going to bring both palms onto the mat and we're going to step back into our plank position and bring your knees onto the mat. And we're going to sit back into child's pose. You remember? Knees together, ankles together, making the tops of your feet press into the mat, palms pressing into the mat, bringing your chest over the knees and your forehead to the mat. Walk your hands towards you. And we're back where we started. So you would repeat that sequence on your left side. And that's my little version of your sun salutation. I'm just adding in a few poses that I think are really beneficial. So thank you guys for joining me on the mat today, and I hope you learned something that could help you in your practice. Blessings.